So with that, I
Thank you.
hand it over.
Yeah, does the audio work well? You hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thanks for the nice introduction. Indeed, I currently work for UCLL, which is a University of Applied Sciences. And indeed, we are guiding, helping companies to become more sustainable. And my focus is specifically on circular economy. And let me try to share my screen too.
Yeah,
it works.
It's working. We can see it.
Good.
Yes.
And one of the projects that we are involved in with UCLL is CBIP, which is Circular Business Innovation Program, which is an Interact North Sea program where with 7 partners out of 5 countries, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Belgium, of course, and France, we are seeing how we can help companies, entrepreneurs, startups to develop more circular business ideas. That's also how I got to know Francisca. So yeah, it's a nice way as well of networking and meeting other like-minded people. So if you say, might be something for me, we are running a program now, but we will do a new round at the end of the year. So if you're interested, you can find the link here and subscribe. But yeah, before going into circular economy, going back to the broad definition of sustainability, we've seen it already. This time is the 3rd time, but I think it's nice to remind because that's the overarching objective. We really want to have a world where we meet the needs of what we need today, the present, without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So that is something to keep in mind because circular economy, it's not a synonym for sustainable economy. It can be a way to be sustainable, but we need to keep this overarching objective in mind of really making sure that we are, having the minds of our future generations to keep their needs in mind. Because if we see at how our economy is today, it's a little bit more focused to linear economy, where it's also referred to as a take, make, waste economy, where there is a lot of emphasis on taking products, material resources from Earth, making products with them, and then you sell it to your consumer, to the customer. And what they do with the product then, it's in their hands. It's their responsibility. If the product breaks down, unless it's still in a warranty period, it's their responsibility to see if they can repair it, if they want to repair it, or if they throw it away and buy a new product. So it's an economy where, as a producer as well, in order to gain value, you need to sell more. So you need to take more resources. And at the end, your consumers is wasting more products in the end. So it's an economy that is using a lot of resources and creating a lot of waste, which is really pushing the boundaries of our planet. So that's where the idea of a circular economy comes in. And you see in this cartoon, it's very simplistic, but I think it helps to illustrate a little bit how to view or how to look at circular economy. Where in circular economy, you keep the products or their parts in the loop. So at the end, when the product, the service is done, the consumer doesn't need it anymore. The product can be reused, or the materials can be reused again and again and again, or they're fully biodegradable so that at the end there is no waste left, and the products and the materials are kept in the loop, in this circle. So it's really about making an economy that is minimizing pollution, waste, and maximizing the value of the products and its parts. And to go back into that overall sustainable definition, if done well, it's really an economy that can support those principles of supporting the planet, the people, and prosperity, the profits as well. So that's a bit a short definition of it, but I think it helps to illustrate a bit what it is about. But as a company, you're maybe wondering, how can we apply circular principles? I think the R strategies might be convenient there. So I think it came back in practice sessions as well, of how can you repair things, recycle things. But here you see 10 strategies, and they're ordered in terms of how much they are more closest to our current linear economy versus moving to a more circular economy. So you see here at the bottom, it's about more useful application of materials, where you see recycling, which is probably the strategy that we know best. But you see there's still a lot of ways to do better. And when we look at this middle part, it's about extending the lifespan of the products and its parts, where you have that repair or refurbishing or reusing secondhand market as well in there. So those are all strategies that help to make sure products, materials, elements can be used for longer. And at the top, you see here strategies that can be used to have smarter product use in there. So you see, for example, how can you design your product in a way that you need to use less materials, so reducing the materials that you need. But also, how can you design your business model differently, rethink it so that maybe the same product can be used multiple times by different users, or your product has a multifunctional element in it so that, the same product, the same resources can serve more occasions. And then the top one, it's refusing, which is really thinking, what does my consumer need? What solution do I provide? And can I maybe do it in a way where I don't need to use a new product for it, where maybe I can fulfill that same need without a new product. So this strategy might be nice to keep on the side, to have a look at, to see, what can we do with our business? How can we maybe move more to that circular economy? But as a business, it also probably means, changing your business model a bit. So I wanted to show a few examples of companies that are or that moved to a more circular business model and what they are applying. So you see the traditional value chain here, where you start from resources, production, logistics, retail, consumption. But you see what's new in the circular economy is already thinking about the end of life and what you will do with the product when it's done. So is there a way you can bring it back in your own loop, or is there a way products can be reused? So what can you do about making sure that the products at the end of life are kept in the circle? But you see different colors in here as well. We don't have the time to go in depth, but they illustrate a bit different models that can be applied. So if we look at the first one, where you really start from your resources, how can you have a business model that is using maybe bio-based materials to start, or that is using the waste from another company as a resource, as a starting point for your business? And an example of a company that is doing that is Circular Matters. It's a startup here in Belgium. They make panels, interior panels that you can put against the wall. But those are made out of fiber-rich plants and products that are pressed together. And to get to those kind of the resources, they are working with other companies to get those. So for example, they're working with a brewery, where they get what's left out of the grain after the brewery has done his work with it. They use that as a starting point, but they also collaborate with Social Economy in that, which is a company called Pro Natura. They collect the grass or make sure the grass is removed in public spaces. But they also dry the grass. They experiment with different types of grass to check which ones can be best used for the panels. And it's a very nice collaboration where circular economy and social economy are really strengthening each other, because for the sheltered workplace, it's a nice way as well to diversify the work. So some of the older people didn't like to be outdoors all the time. So it's a nice way of making sure that the people have different types of jobs to do as well. And it's a nice way for them as well to contribute to a different type of economy. And the two companies are even seeing how can they collaborate even further. The Circular Matter, the company of the tiles, they are moving from startup to scale up. So they're trying to see how can we optimize our production process. and to optimize it in a way that a long-term collaboration with social economy is possible. They have a person from Pro Natura who is doing an internship at Circular Matters to see how the production process can be optimized. So it's a way to see and to get a different point of view on how production process can be optimized, how they can make sure their products can benefit the planet, people, and profit. So really having those three elements in mind there and making sure they connect and strengthen each other. So I think that's maybe something as well. It's maybe social economy, not something you think about automatically at first, but maybe it's a nice way to have a look who close to where you are sitting, what type of companies are around you, having a chat with them. Sometimes they can really help to think creatively. They often have big storage places as well. So yeah, it's a nice way to see how you can partner and strengthen each other. So that's an example of the first two of starting with circular products and reusing materials. But if we think about how can you create your business around prolonging the lifespan, so how can you move from that create and sell waste to something where products can be kept in the loop for longer? One example that I wanted to show from there is Decathlon. I don't know if you know it, but it's a very big sports retailer. Probably they can still do better on a lot of other sustainability aspects, but they are experimenting with some circular principles, and it shows very well of how you can move from a more traditional linear model to a more circular model, or how you can implement some circular principles easily. So what they did, and I think they piloted here in Belgium, is pushing for what they call reversed shopping, where you could, and they were starting with bikes, where you could bring back your bikes and get them repaired on certain days. But they're also seeing for their bikes in the future, how can they make their bikes more easily dismantled so that they can be repaired more easily. And they can maybe sell repair kits or spare parts. So instead of selling a full new bike and using all of the resources for a full new bike, focusing more on that repairing aspect, the kits and then the spare parts. And also seeing how can we contribute and push more second use, reuse. So you can bring back your old bike, you get a voucher for it that you can use to buy other products. And a new person can buy the bike secondhand with warranty. So it gives that quality reassurance as well. And finally, they're also trying to see how can we change our business model from just selling to what is actually the need that some of our clients have. And they have a lot of families with kids as part of their consumers, as part of their target groups, where often they noticed, they try buy sports gear for one sport, but then the kid decides to change his mind or her mind and tries a new sport, and the gear is left in the closet, used only once, and is kind of wasted. So to prevent that, they're looking into how can we do maybe leasing subscriptions, so that you pay for 1 month a certain fee and you can use sports gear as you like. So it's also a different way of seeing how products can be used more intensively by multiple people. And related to that, because product as a service, I think, maybe just to go, what Decathlon also does quite well is to advertise on it. So they did a very big campaign here where a lot of the stores, the bigger ones in Brussels, the sign was swapped. So instead of saying Decathlon, it's Knoll Taste, to promote really that reverse shopping. So even before they start, they're already taking their customers in that journey and use it for PR as well. But it's also something you can keep in mind. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about product as a service too. because it's seen as a very model that fits very well with the circular economy idea. It's where instead of you sell a product, you sell the service. So Philips is doing that as well. They're trying to see how instead of selling light bulbs, we sell light. We give the solution, we offer light. So we're looking, and they're focusing on retailers at first, but seeing how can we make sure that the retailer has energy, high, good quality light, that it's optimized, that it's repaired when it's needed. So the client has the good solution of having the best light possible. And for Philips, it is an incentive to make products that can be reused for a long time, or that have a long product life cycle, can be maybe reused at other places, can be upgraded easily, so that the resources are used more efficiently. So it's a way as well for them internally to land that message more of, we really need to have products that will last a long time, and we have a business model for that, so that we can reuse and optimize the resources as much as possible. And to close, the question was, what advice would you give to the audience? So I think the main advice I wanted to give is just to start. When looking at research as well, there is no technical barriers for us to change. It's not that we need to wait for some kind of invention to do business differently. The main barrier is usually the organization. It's us. It is more the people, us, the mentality that is standing in the way. But it also means that if we can change ourselves, we can start right now. And I think that's maybe the first thing to see, what are already quick wins that you can do, where you see, you can contribute to a more sustainable economy in an easy way, and what could be maybe more long-term, bigger wins that you want to focus on. And yeah, I think the presentation will be shared afterwards. I put some resources in there that are maybe helpful, more on economics, broad topic. Donut economy is quite recommended to read, looking at the economy from a different way. And as well in terms of circular economy, Alan Arthur Foundation is a nice resource. She also talks a little bit more about separating biological versus technical elements in there. Yeah, the value hill with the R strategies. So yeah, you can read those if you're interested to see more. I also put some examples in there of tools that maybe you know already, business model canvas, but here in a more circular way. So feel free to leverage those within your companies. Thank you.